In this video, I'm building 4 different mechs for Ninjago villains, so that way they can stand up and fight back against the ninja. I've also improved my studio with a new desk and treadmill from this video's sponsor FlexiSpot, but more on them later. These are the villains of Ninjago Dragon's Rising Season 2. Cinder, the Elemental Master of Smoke, Jordana, an engineer and magic user, and Lord Ras, their leader. In the past, Ninjago villains got tons of love in sets, lots of different vehicles, the ninja were really the underdogs. However, that's just not the case anymore. These days, most Ninjago sets are themed around the ninja. The villains are lucky if they get anything. For example, this year, the villain group got a base. It's a really cool set, and I like it a lot, but that's about it. The Source Dragon of Motion set comes with a giant villain throne, but that doesn't really exist in the show, and Aaron's buggy is technically a villain vehicle originally in the show, but that's not the case at all in the sets. It was absolutely made for Aaron. Meanwhile, at the same time, the ninja have gotten all of this year. That doesn't exactly seem fair. But I want to focus specifically on a few sets, the Elemental Fire Mechs. These are some of my favorite sets this year. They're affordable, they look great, and they're fun to just pose and play with. But the thing is, they're these really cool mechs that don't really have much to fight. Kai's mech does come with a little villain mech side build, which I love, but it's a good bit smaller, and that's all we have. So in this video, I want to even the playing field and build mechs for all of the main villains that match the ninja mechs in both size and scale. I've already done videos making mechs for the rest of the ninja who didn't get one, and then mechs for more of the Elemental Masters, so now it's Lord Ras's team's turn. Before I started, I had to decide whether I wanted to base these mechs off the villain's Part 1 or Part 2 appearances. Part 2 is more recent, and definitely the cooler designs, but I decided to go with Part 1, mostly. I thought working with dark blue would make for a more fun and unique color scheme than gunmetal gray, especially because far more pieces exist in dark blue. So let's start with Cinder. He's the only character who gets an actual Elemental Power Mech in this video because he is an Elemental Master, the Master of Smoke. Now, on his minifigure, his element is represented by this new trans black color that was introduced last year and is only used on so many pieces. I wanted to see if I could incorporate it, so I looked up all the parts that exist of the color, but it was mostly just windshields, windows, and other very specialized parts. I could use these 1x2 tiles, but other than that, I was just going to consider it a loss and move on. But I decided that I wanted to try to make it work. So I built the legs using gray joints and attached these large windshield pieces. This is to somewhat make it look like the mech's legs are obscured by smoke, and I think it works pretty well. Definitely makes this unique from other mechs, which I think is a good thing. I added a few more trans black pieces onto the feet, with some gray and sand blue detailing as well to keep it somewhat grounded. I kept Cinder's mech somewhat slender, as I wanted him to seem like the most agile of the team. I used these newer angled slope pieces on the top of the torso because I felt they created a cool silhouette, and also added these textured slope pieces to the top to match the fluffy neck attachment that Cinder's minifigure has. When it came to the arms, I wanted some level of bulk in the shoulders, but I wasn't sure what parts to use. You see, Cinder's mech, just like the official mechs, is built off of the SCCBS system, which contains 4 different parts. The joints, the cockpit, and then the big and small armor pieces. Only one of these exists in dark blue so far, the cockpit, but bringing another color over for the armor just didn't feel right. So I decided to actually use the cockpit piece as the armor. I've done this once before with the knees of my custom Zane mech, so I tried it out here on the shoulders, and I think they look great. They create a really cool angle with the Nexonite shield piece, and I think the sharper edges contrast well with the more rounded armor that the ninja use. Now, because this is an Elemental Power Mech, I wanted Cinder's element to burst out of it, just like on the official mech, so I added in these little gray swirl pieces. I want to give a huge shout out to Zarkon Shatterspin on Instagram for this idea. They submitted a Cinder mech, which was an honorable mention to my last contest that used this idea, and I thought it was so smart that I had to use it on mine as well. The smoke comes out of 3 different places: the shoulders, the elbows, and the back of the legs. For Cinder's weapon, I used this blade from the Source Dragon of Motion set to be a larger version of the range blade from the sets. Finally, I finished off the mech with a little dark red tile on the cockpit. The ninja all used this gold printed tile on their mech, so I thought it made sense for the villains to have something different. It would be cool to have some sort of print or sticker here, but I think unprinted works well enough. And that's Cinder's mech complete. I'm very happy with this one. I was a bit worried on how I was going to do it since so many great Cinder mechs had already been made for my contest, but I think I had a unique take on the idea, only borrowing a little bit from them. Now, next up is Lord Ras. Before I show you his mech though, I want to take a moment to thank this video's sponsor, FlexiSpot. Now, this is my second time working with FlexiSpot because I was so happy with how things went the first time around, I reached back out to see if they'd be interested in doing more. So this time around, they sent me another E7 Pro standing desk to upgrade my Lego room. And I don't even know where to begin as to what an improvement this has been. First off, the convenience of the adjustable height is so nice. I, like many of you, sit there and just build Lego sets for hours. But it can be taxing on your body annoyed to just be sitting in one place for so long. And Lego isn't exactly easy to move when you have pieces all over your desk. It kinda just has to stay where it is until you're finished building. But thanks to this desk, I don't have to move it if I need to move. I can change the height and stand while building and then just bring it back down to sit when I'm ready. Beyond this though, this desk is just incredibly strong. I mean, here, look, this is me riding on it as it moves up. And I don't even get close to the weight limit. It can hold up to 440 pounds. The desk is really stable too. It doesn't like wobble or anything, which is so nice. You know, one time I was working on a build at my old like plastic folding desk and I accidentally kicked one of the legs and it very slowly started to collapse. I tried to save what I could, but it was just too late and it all just fell to the floor and made a giant mess. That was very annoying, but luckily with my new FlexiSpot E7 Pro standing desk, that will never be an issue again. And then FlexiSpot also provided me with their new 2-in-1 walking treadmill. Now, in my day-to-day life, my job does not involve a ton of moving. I'm either sitting at a desk building Legos, sitting at my lightbox filming a video, or sitting at my computer editing that video. And even if I was, like, actually using my college degree, I'm a computer scientist, which really wouldn't change much in that department. But FlexiSpot's 2-in-1 treadmill has made it so easy to multitask and get exercise done while I'm doing other things. For example, check this out. I walked 17,000 steps the other day. That's because I set up the standing desk and the treadmill and did not stop moving until I finished building this guy, the 2011 Lightning Dragon. If you don't want to multitask though, and you just want to use this as a full-size treadmill, that's an option too. You can lift this bar up and it's got a place to hold your tablet or phone. Your stats are tracked as you walk or run, and you can control everything from this remote, so you don't have to like actually get under your desk. The treadmill holds up to 264 pounds and is really just built for durability. The E7 Pro standing desk can be returned for free in 30 days and then also has a 15-year warranty, and then the treadmill has a 2-year warranty. I cannot recommend FlexiSpot enough if you're looking to upgrade your home or your office. FlexiSpot's Black Friday sale has just started with products up to 65% off, and there's even a chance that you can get your entire order for free. And if you use my codes on screen right now, you can get an additional $50 off the E7 Pro standing desk and an additional $20 off the 2-in-1 walking treadmill. See the description below for the full details. Thank you once again very much to FlexiSpot for sponsoring me and supporting my channel, and now let's take a look at my custom Lord Ras mech. Since I was basing the mechs off of Season 2 Part 1, I was originally going to use this figure as a basis for Lord Ras's mech. I wanted to give it purple detailing and armor, but pretty quick into building, I felt like that wasn't right, so I scrapped it and started over. Instead, I wanted to make a mech that fit Lord Ras more broadly and wasn't necessarily based on one specific suit. That fur piece that I used on Cinder's shoulders was just introduced in magenta for LEGO Dreams, so I thought it could be cool to give Ras's mech stripes just like he has. I used these parts to cover up the armor pieces, and I think it gives the mech a really nice shape. The legs of Ras's mech are based off the official Lloyd mech for a few reasons. First, I always like when I can create a parallel between two characters if I feel it's thematic. For example, my Evil J mech was based on Kai and Cole to make it truly feel like an evil ninja mech, so I thought Ras could be a cool parallel to Lloyd as they're the leaders of each team. Beyond that though, the Lloyd mech structure feels a lot more animalistic, which of course matches Ras, so that's why I used it on his mech. I used dark azure throughout because both of Ras's suits this year have these like metallic blue parts to them, so I thought the mech should have them as well. I wanted these pieces to feel like additional armor on top of the mech though, so it's only used in a few places: the sides of the feet, the top of the legs, the waist, and the wrists. I gave Ras's mech a much bulkier look since he's all about strength, though I wanted to make sure he was still taller than Cole's mech, which does a very similar thing. For his shoulders, I used the cockpit pieces once again, just like Cinder. Even though the proper armor pieces do exist in black, after making the Cinder mech, I thought this could be a cool bit of consistency between all of these to make them really feel like a team. I used the fur pieces on the top again too, which also helps them match. Finally, for Lord Ras's weapon, I gave him a giant hammer. Hammers seem to be his main weapon, and you can see this one's the perfect size to strike the large version of the Gong of Shattering. And you can see I included a little bit of that blue metal in here too. And there's Lord Ras's mech. Again, incredibly happy with this one. I feel like I really captured Ras's vibe. Going into this, I was a little worried about my mechs feeling too similar to others now that I've made so many, but I think I've struck a good balance of taking inspiration when necessary, but also making them feel uniquely their own. Now, before we come to the final mechs of this video, you guys have a decision to make. You see, this series has been doing really well on my channel, and I'm incredibly grateful for all of your support. So, I want you to decide. Who should I make mechs for next? Should I do more fighters in the Tournament of Sources such as Frack? Elemental Masters from the original Tournament of Elements such as Griffin Turner or Karloff? What about some of the ninja's allies such as Master Wu, Dareth, Skylar, or Pixel? Or finally, maybe some villains from Ninjago's history such as Garmadon and Moro? Let me know, of those 4 options, which do you want want to see most? I'll probably do all of those ideas at some point, but I want your thoughts on which one I should do first and what characters should be in those videos. And if you enjoy these videos and you do want to see more, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Liking and subscribing does so much to help support me in the channel, allows me to make more videos just like this, and also helps put my videos in your feed more often. So thank you all for your support, and now let's get back to the video. Up next is Jordana, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do with her. In the show, she's defined by her rivalry with Sora. She's always been jealous of Sora and wants to be better than her. Given her technical knowledge, I imagine that in-universe Jordana would be the one who built all these mechs for the villains, so I think she'd intentionally design hers to be a better version of Sora's to sort of one-up her. So I built the legs to be an exact recolor of Sora's mech with Jordana's color scheme. The dark red and dark blue I think look really nice together, and the touches of normal red don't really feel out of place. I also used a small bit of transparent red to show that Jordana infused her magical energy into the mech. While the legs are pretty much exactly the same as Sora's, the torso and arms are where things start to differ. Jordana's mech is much bulkier and is built to look more powerful. Sora has these really thin arms on her mech, while for Jordana that's not the case. She has the same armor as Lord Ras and Cinder. I included the fur on the shoulders here too. Originally I didn't have this as Jordana's mech was sleeker than the others, but I decided to add it in so that way all three would match better. Plus, on the minifigure, Jordana does wear that same neck piece that Cinder does. Now, this stickered piece on her chest is an incredible coincidence. This wasn't in my original design at all, but when I ordered the parts of Bricklink, this one just had a sticker attached. I was gonna remove it, but then I realized it was kinda perfect for Jordana, mirroring the Imperium circuitry on her face. No clue what set the sticker's originally from, but hey, it works great here. Finally, Jordana's weapons once again match Sora. Instead of a transparent pink elemental saw, Jordana has a sharp silver one. And instead of these elegant golden blades, Jordana has these more brutal, dark, gunmetal gray ones. Jordana's mech is definitely the least original design in this video, but I feel like it fits her character thematically, so I'm still quite happy with it. Plus, the color scheme is really unique. And then, my final mech for this video is powered up Lord Ras, when his stripes turn from pink to red. It's literally the exact same as my other mech for him, except all the magenta parts are swapped out from dark red, as well as a few other parts. Not the most exciting way to end things off, I know, but I thought it would be fun to have two versions of this mech. Now, you may be asking, where's Nokt? He was the final member of this team in Dragon's Rising Season 2 Part 2, so why didn't I make him a mech? Well, first off, he doesn't have a minifigure yet, but rumors are that's going to be changing in January. Beyond that though, while he is a member of Raz's team this season, his true allegiance is a part of the Forbidden Five. The Forbidden Five are all elemental masters, and it seems like we'll be learning more about them next year, but right now, we don't know very much. Since these are elemental power mechs, I wanted to wait and see if we can learn what Nokt's elemental power actually is before I build a mech for him. Plus, wouldn't it be cool to see mechs for all 5 of the Forbidden 5 in one video? So I hope you guys could forgive me for leaving him out of this one, but I promise he will still get one in the future. And then one last thing in this video, of course, these are elemental power mechs built in the same style as the official ones, so they're able to mix and match parts and swap around with each other. And this, of course, also works with the other elemental power mechs, both official and custom. And there we go, that is all 4 of my custom elemental power mechs for the Ninjago Dragon's Rising Season 2 villains. Now the ninja have something to properly fight in their mechs, and the villains can actually hold their own. What do you think of these? Which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Personally, it's hard for me to choose. I think Cinder is my most unique mech yet, but Ras looks really perfect, and I love the colors and concept for Jordana. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it, and subscribe to my channel if you're new, and as I mentioned earlier, let me know in the comments which group should get mechs next. If you want to see more custom build and building challenge videos just like this one, I'll have a full playlist linked in the description and in the pinned comment. I did a video 2 weeks ago making a custom Ninjago battle bus. I recommend checking that one out if you haven't yet. Thank you very much again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. If you want to get the E7 Pro standing desk or the 2-in-1 walking treadmill for yourself, you can go check the links in the description. Again, you can use my codes for $50 off the desk or $20 off the treadmill. But as for this video, I think that's all I've got, so thanks for watching everybody, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!